Hey, what's going on everybody? It's the show with sour questions and even sourer sweets. And today we are joined by Aidan. Aidan, welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me.
How's your mindset like going into this interview?
I am pretty good with sour things, I think.
Good tolerance?
I don't dabble with the malic acid on a regular basis, but I feel like, you know, it's an untested gauntlet, so we'll see how it goes.
Ready to dive into this?
I'm ready.
So as the show goes on, we get exponentially more sour sweets. And here is number one.
Alright, what are we working with here?
First up, fizzy cola bottles.
I think I can handle this.
I do have to mention that we are not sponsored by Toxic
Not
Waste.
sponsored by Toxic Waste. Okay.
Or any of the other sweets that are in this
You bought these
show.
with your own money.
I did.
Wow. Better hit that subscribe button, because we are losing money on these.
2 each.
2 each. Wow, okay. Here we go.
Ready when you are.
Dink it. Sink it. Yep. Very manageable.
Not deadly sour, this one.
I would rank the sourness basically non-existent.
So as a young child, you were really into the SpongeBob universe.
I still am, frankly.
So in your opinion, who is the most overrated character in the franchise?
Most overrated character. The driving instructor? Mrs. Puff, I think. You know, as a driving instructor, dubious as to whether she was even qualified to do that job, you know. So I'd say Mrs. Puff, yeah.
Who do you think is the most underrated?
Overrated. Underrated, Plankton. Everybody hates on the guy, but I think really he was the star of the show.
Opinions on main character, SpongeBob?
Take it or leave it. I mean, he gets a lot of the limelight, and I think he deals with the limelight quite well. Keeps it real, stays humble, but you know,
Keeps it funny?
Yeah, but leave some room for the others to have their moments, right? You know, don't want to tread on any toes.
Right, gotcha.
What are we
Candy
working with
Kitten
here?
Shocks.
Okay.
So called to shock the system.
Gourmet sours. Here we go. 3, 2, 1.
Definitely sour.
Well, considering the previous round was nothing, yeah.
So also, as a young child, one of your strong fascinations was on cars.
Okay.
At the time, your favourite, I believe, was a Bugatti Veyron.
I did love a Bugatti Veyron.
So if you were to get a custom license plate for your
Yeah.
dream car, what car and what would it say on the license plate?
Yeah, I think F4RT PWRD.
What's your dream car now? Is it a change from the Bugatti Veyron?
Well, I am a fan of an electric vehicle, just in general, and I mean the best of the bunch right now is the Tesla Model S, so that would be quite nice.
Well, as we're going about childhood questions, you're going to have a dummy
Pacifier. We're talking to a US audience.
and a cherry.
Well, cheers.
And you know what?
Different stages.
I think I'll join you.
Ready? 3, 2, 1. Yeah, I mean this is a classic.
Hint of sour in there.
It's the sriracha of sour.
So I'm stepping it back to question one here. With, as a child, you had a strange obsession with the SpongeBob Monopoly board game.
Okay. Also not that strange. I think a lot of people, you know. Here it is. Oh wow, the very game.
The very box and the very game with the very contents. So I'll just set this up here quickly.
Okay. Yeah, I love the props. Wow, you really went all
So,
out.
in this board game, which would be your favourite Monopoly to buy?
Well, the easy answer is the Krusty Krab, because that's the dark blue. It's the most valuable, most money people land on it. But I think the underrated, the one that really, you know, makes the big bucks if you get there early enough in the game, is the purple ones, the one at the very beginning. The Plankton's Lab and the Chumba.
Hard to get to on the first go, though,
Hard
because
to
you
get
can't
to.
get the first one.
Yeah. But if you manage to get both of those purples early in the game, you are Like, and the pineapples to get them ranked up to the Krusty Krab level are so cheap. Like, you are bringing the money home. So that's what I'd say.
Sour Patch Kids.
The sour is in the name at this point.
You ready?
3, 2, 1.
It's stepping it up.
Most people's reactions to Sour Patch Kids that I've witnessed having them for the first time are, oh, they're not as sour as I thought.
So, I believe you had a pet called Fishy, which was a fish.
Correct.
If you were to get any more pets in the future, would you name them as unimaginatively as Fishy?
Is this a roast? Is this what's happening? I was 4 years old when I named Fishy Fishy. Thank you very much.
If you were to get some more animals, what animals would they be, and how would you name them?
I'm not really in a state of life right now where I'd have a pet in the immediate to near future because I traveled so much. But if I was to settle down and get a pet and just hang out, yeah, probably something slower moving, doesn't need walking as much. So just go with a cat. I'd get 2 cats, one called Gollum, one called Schmeagol, and that'd be the end of it.
Simple.
Yep.
Keeping it simple. Lord of the Rings in there.
You know, got to get the reference in there while you can.
Sour Skittles.
They're not just sour Skittles. Get a close up on this. Crazy sour.
One sec.
I mean, come on. Like, you're getting some superlatives in there.
Well, you're not.
Crazy is what, an adjective?
Yeah.
Getting some adjectives in there. 3, 2, 1.
These ones kind of hit you later on.
There was a little bit there, but you're saying crazy sour. That's a little bit of a push. Yeah, there's a little kick at the very end.
In the year 2012, I believe London hosted the 2012 Olympics.
That's correct.
Summer Olympics. And at that time, you were in the States, the United States of America. And you hosted your own version of the Olympics.
That's correct.
Called the Olimpets. And I've got a photo here that I want to show you.
Oh boy, is this to explain that gram?
So as you can tell, you were rather small, young child here.
I mean, there's nothing there for scale other than a limpet.
So I want you to explain if you remember what is going on in this photo.
There were what we called limpets. I don't know if that is their biological. I don't know if they actually were limpets, but we called them limpets. Little shell things that sort of had a little mouth that they could jet along through the sand and water, and we would race them. And Speedy Gonzalez was the ultimate gold medal winner.
What a name for a limpet!
I can't claim credit for that one. That was Eric, his doing.
Well, what a genius
Eric
is.
Yeah, look at it. Look at where he is now.
Where is he?
He's still alive.
So we are on to Bazooka Rattlers Sours.
It says sour chewy candies. But bazooka makes it sound like you're gonna get quite a punch in the jaw.
Yeah. Well, ready?
3, 2, 1. Oh, instant. Yeah. Taking no time. No messing around there. That's the first one so far where I'm like, it's kind of sour.
At around this time in 2012, I believe you started your Aidanator YouTube channel. And currently, the oldest public video you have is a Bear Grylls parody.
These birds here are a very good source of proteins and other things.
Is there a story behind that as to why you made it?
Yeah, so the Bear Grylls parody, that was a year 7 English lesson writing assignment. We had to parody a popular TV show and write a script for the parody. And my script was just phenomenal. And, you know, I had a camera, I had a tripod, I had people who were willing to be in a video, and I was like, I said to the teacher, I might actually make this. And she was like, yeah, do it. And so we did. And I stuck word for word to the script that I wrote in that English class. And then I think I remade it.
These birds here are an excellent source of proteins and other nutritional things.
It's great. I mean, it's a flawless video. I don't see any reason to ever make it unlisted. Whoa.
Coming back to those bazookas.
Those bazookas that do bazookaing my esophagus right now.
Pretty large things.
Wow. It's like these barrels, but smaller. Stay like that. Yeah.
You ready?
One-way ticket to Gumtown. Let's go. Wow. Uh-huh.
Oh, there's goop inside of it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there's a little bit of oozing.
There's quite a lot of it as well.
It's got a lot of volume.
Even though you've got the Aidan YouTube channel with the Bear Grylls parody, I believe that previously you had another YouTube channel under the title Sponggoo5000.
Correct.
And Sponggoo5000 was all about the online video game Bin Weevils. Do you want to tell us a little bit of backstory about Bin Weevils?
Oh yeah, let me take you back. The year is 2012. It's the golden era of online, virtual, platform-based, world-building, online, free-to-play content for kids and tweens. And I was caught up in the midst of it. So there were so many options. Club Penguin, I did that for a while, loved it. Moshi Monsters, wouldn't touch it with a barge pole. Bin Weevils, huge fan. So I created my Weevil in 2011. I, as you mentioned earlier, SpongeBob fan, so I believe the name Sponggoo5000 stemmed from something SpongeBob related. I don't entirely know the train of thought there. So I created the Weevil, had a little bit of fun on the platform, and then there was this whole offshoot with Bin Weevils. It may have been the case with Moshi Monsters and Club Penguin. I don't know. But there was a whole blogging side of things. So there were a bunch of people who would just make a WordPress site and talk about what was going on in the bin, things to do, events that were happening, new updates. Whoa.
Goop gun.
Things are happening.
Stirring up inside.
And for a while, mine was one of, if not the most popular one. It got about 250,000 hits during the couple of years that it was in operation online. Could have monetized it, but didn't for some reason. It got to the point where anytime I logged in, I would get swarms of people coming around and recognizing me and asking for photos and stuff, which was slightly strange as a 12-year-old internet superstar on Bin Weevils.
The penultimate is the sour candy. This is Warheads, renowned in the sour sweet industry, and for some reason labelled as ages 4 and up. I would not give this to a 4-year-old child.
Not one that I cared about. I mean, if it was being kind of a pest, I'd load them up, but no, not advisable. Wow, are you not getting the situation I'm getting?
I'm not getting any gaseous releases.
I'm not usually like this.
Yeah, you are.
I'm kind of salivating quite a lot.
I guess that is a side effect.
Is that going on with you?
I think that is.
Up in your business? Okay, that's good. It's good it's not just me. 3, 2, 1. Oh, instantly. Instant pain. That is a huge step up.
I said it was exponential.
And then it's gone already. It's like a bully in school. Grabs you by the scruff of the neck, slams you against the wall, and then immediately walks away. So
quite a few years after that, you were taking A-levels.
This was quite a few years after
that. And A-levels, what did you pick for A-levels again?
English literature, pre-modern history, and geography, yeah.
If I was to combine all those together, can you explain to me, using only one-syllable words, how volcanoes were formed?
There's crack ones, which form in cracks where the ground splits and hot rocks come out. There's cone ones where zones under the earth under.
Is that all the volcanoes that how volcanoes formed?
There's more, but I'm kind of done.
This is the creme de la creme of sour sweets. The toxic waste that has adorned our table for the entirety of this interview.
The last dab of the sour world.
Correct. So these are so sour that they've been wrapped up individually.
I don't think that's to do with the sourness level. I think that's just stuff them sticking together.
Cheers. Okay, never mind. We've got the ice drinking business going on.
Wow, it's building. Wow. Yeah, makes the tongue feel like sandpaper. You're not getting this?
I'm getting this. This is really quite sour. I am actively heating up like a volcano. While you're in active pain, if you were to go to a new country, purely based on its name, where would you go?
Hungry. I feel like that's fairly self-explanatory.
So, okay, chucking the names beside, that was just a bit of a comedic starter for this question. If you were to go to a country based on its all of that aspects, so the cuisine, the local experience, the historic landmarks that are there, where would you go based on those?
Thailand.
Why?
It's very affordable, cool place to go, lots of amazing tourist attractions, and I've never been to Asia, and I feel like that is, I mean, Asia's a big place, but I feel like it is really one of the main beating hearts of Asia, because Asia's like an octopus and it has multiple hearts.
I've actually got a little secret, because I've got one more question, and although you might not see it on this table, we have one more sour item.
Sean Evans doesn't do this. I heard the fridge. I can hear a knife. We're definitely chopping something up. Wow.
Secret weapon coming in.
What the?
For question 10. Slices of lemon.
Holy moly. Wow. Bubbling away big time down there.
Are you ready for this?
Here we go. Honestly tastes better than quite a lot of the sweets that we've had.
So on the topic of travelling around the world,
yep.
The most common form of transportation that you've taken, I'm guessing, is a plane to go from country to country.
As opposed to what? A hot air
springboard?
balloon? Pogo stick?
Well, on that exact topic, what do you think is the most inconvenient mode of transport?
Probably a saddle on top of a turtle or snail or other crustacean.
I don't think snails or turtles are crustaceans.
What else would be inconvenient form of transport? Anything that was sort of smaller to get into than you were big. So being shipped in a parcel that was smaller than you were would be quite inconvenient.
Awkward. Most awkward one, almost.
Most awkward form of transportation?
Most least...
A bus full of monks, maybe. Quite awkward. As long as you weren't a monk. If you were a monk, you'd fit right in. Wouldn't be awkward at all.
That's the end of the interview done. Aidan, thanks for having you on the show.
It's been a pleasure.
How's it been tasting all these sour delicacies?
I definitely feel like I've lost some taste buds. Like my tongue feels rough. No, it's been a real pleasure.
So, thank you very much. We'll see you next week.